Hello, everyone. Today I'm back with a brand new class. So today I have Edexcel Business Studies, Edexcel Business Studies AS. So I'm waiting for my students to join. Please check if you can hear me properly, if you can see me properly, right? If there are any technical, difficulties, because the internet has been slow, not only at my place but everywhere. Because what I heard is, uh, you know, um, there are some technical faults, all around the country, and therefore we're having issues with internet. So please check if you can listen to me, if you can see everything properly, and you can just type yes or no. Okay. Also, guys, you can follow me on our Facebook page, Fyruz Education Services, for live classes which are free. You can also add me on Facebook, Fyruz Khan, and we also have our YouTube channel, Fyruz Education Services. So there we go. Today, let's start. Let's start. You can see a picture. So here is a picture of two books. So I had a choice last night. I had a choice last night to buy one of these books. From this choice, I had two choices. I had to buy one of this book. So my budget was 1,200 taka. My budget was 1,200 taka. The price of the book on the left hand side here, Ikigai, was 1,000, and even the price of this one was 1,000. Okay. So I chose this book. I chose Ikigai. As you can see, it's here. I've also started reading. So I chose this book, right? So this book is about motivation, about Japanese secret to long and happy life. What keeps you motivated, and why do you want to get out and jump out of bed every day? So it's about that. So my budget was 1,200, and I had to buy one book. I couldn't buy two books. It would be great if I could buy two books, but I had to make a compromise. I had to make a sacrifice. I had to give up this option, Ichigo Ichi. It's also a great book. I had to give up this option and choose this book, Ikigai, because my budget was 1,200 and I could buy this book easily, right? So I had to give up this option. So when I gave up this option, and this is the next best alternative, and I gave up this option, and this is known as opportunity cost. When you give up something, when you give up the second best, when you have the second best option on your hand, that is opportunity cost. You are giving up something. You're giving up the second best alternative. I will not be getting benefit from this book. Okay. So in life, we make all kinds of choices. Every day you have to make this choice. And in the last night, I had to make this choice between two books, because I couldn't buy both of them. I had to buy one of them. My budget was 1,200. And in life, you cannot have everything. You will, there'll be choices amongst three, amongst four, and you have to choose just one, right? It happens with individuals, it happens with businesses, it happens with government. You can't have everything. Okay, so this is my opportunity cost. I left this option. It's the next best thing, from this one. It's the next best alternative. Now, if we go here, now every day you make different kinds of choice, from choosing the color of your jeans, okay, from choosing different kinds of, sauces in a Japanese or a Korean restaurant, from choosing different airlines or buses when you travel. So life is full of choices, and individuals needs to make choices. Businesses need to make choices. Um, Government needs to make choices, because the concept is, or the way real life functions is, you cannot have everything. Okay, right, let's go ahead. So Today, our topic is going to be opportunity cost. Okay, so opportunity cost, there we go. Uh, Entrepreneurs are faced with choices and decisions every day. Okay, Zavir, yes, opportunity cost every day. So, as I told you, you cannot have everything. You need to choose, and individuals need to take decisions, businesses and governments, right? Now, I can give you one more example. Now, when I used to be in my university or when I was a student, I used to have a budget, let's say 50 pounds or 50 euros. After spending everything, I used to have 50 pounds left. Now, out of 50 pounds, I could do only so many things. Now, my different options were I could buy some new books, I could, catch a train and go somewhere for the weekend for a small break. I could have a meal with my friends in a restaurant for 30 euros. I could buy a pair of jeans for 50 euros. Now, if I add everything, it's 130 pounds or 130 euros. Now, I cannot do everything because my budget is 50 pounds. I could choose any one of them. Either I could buy a pair of jeans, or either I could, go somewhere for a break and buy new books, or I could have a meal outside and buy new books. It has to be within the budget. And I have to give up some options. So the options that I'm giving up is my opportunity cost, the next best alternative thing. Okay, so individuals like you and me, we need to make decisions like this every day, whether to do this or do that. Okay, whether to watch this movie or that movie, right? You go to Netflix or you're trying to download something, you always have this. You constantly make decisions and choices, and you're sometimes even confused. So yeah, businesses. Let's say a business has 100,000 euros in their budget. Now, either they can do two things. They can advertise, they can do an advertising campaign, they can train their workforce, and they can decorate the reception area. Either they can do this, which is highlighted in yellow, or they can buy new vehicles for sales staff, which is highlighted in green. So they have to do either one of them. They can't do both because they have a budget. Okay. So in this case, you have to think about priority, which is more important for you, which should be done before, right? Okay. So you choose one of them. Now, a government, let's say, has a budget of 5,000 million euros. Now, they can do two things. Marked in yellow, they can give disability benefits, people who are handicapped, who has different kind of problem. They can build new hospitals, they can provide better care for the mentally ill, or they can build roads and railways. So they can choose either of them. Okay, they can't do both because they have a budget. You can't do everything in life. Now, in this case, again, you have to think about priority. Which is more important? Which do you need to get it done first? And then you can, let's say if you have to do this first, buying new vehicles for sales staff, because you think that this is more important, you can do this now. And later, when you have the money again, you can do this. The mark, which is marked in yellow, right? So you can see individuals like me and you, different businesses like Apple or Grameen Phone or any other businesses, or government, the Bangladeshi government, they need to make choices every day. Okay, and there will be a compromise made, there will be a sacrifice made. But the key to success is think about what do you need now? What is your priority? Right? So again, let me give you one more example. Let's say a business has four options. Advertising campaign, you can either do advertising campaign, or you can train your workforce, you can decorate the reception area, or you can buy new vehicles. In this case, let's say the business has they have chosen advertising campaign. So all these three options becomes opportunity cost. The benefit that is lost from the next best alternative, because you won't be benefited by training your workforce. You won't be benefited by redecorating the reception area. You won't be benefited by new vehicles for staff. So the benefit that is lost from the other options is your opportunity cost. So this is a keyword. This is your definition. Okay. Now, in some cases also, if you have any questions, please keep the question coming in our comment section. You can also message me on our special group that we have, right? Or we can also have a phone call chat after we end the class. I hope you're enjoying. So yeah, but then again, not you. I mean, opportunity cost cannot always be measured in terms of money. Here, in all the cases, we are measuring in terms of money. But think about you're giving up this option: retrain workforce. Retrain workforce means you training the workforce again. Now, yes, you're saving money, but again, on the other hand, you're also losing. What are you losing? I'll tell you. If you train your workforce, people will be motivated. Okay, people will be happy. People will be more confident. People will be more productive, more efficient, right? So you will also be losing that. Yes, we know training the workforce takes a lot of money, but if you don't choose that option, yes, you will save money, but then you will also lose a motivated workforce. They may not be happy, or they may not be so productive or efficient, right? They may not be more content. Yes, so this is non-tangible. This is not cash. You cannot calculate it in terms of money. Okay, so these things are very difficult to quantify. How do you measure or quantify motivation? You can't. So in this case, we are choosing advertising campaign. We're not choosing retraining workforce. Yes, we're saving money, and behind that, if you go deeper, you're also losing a motivated workforce, a productive workforce. It's non-tangible. Non-tangible means things that cannot be seen. How do you quantify it? A motivated workforce. Okay, so think about that. Not everything can be calculated in terms of money. You also have to look at quality. Okay, you also have to look at quality. So think about that non-monetary opportunity cost. Okay, great, excellent. If you have any questions, keep it coming. We're doing quite well. 13 minutes in. Now, let me, it's a beautiful picture out here. Both the pictures are very nice. So the picture on the right-hand side is a picture of my family. And I love to spend a lot of time with my family, my wife, my daughter, right? So this is my family. But when I started my business, because when you start a startup, when you're a founder of a company or co-founder of a company, you have to sacrifice a lot, right? And because of my work, I had to sacrifice. And this sacrifice was more personal in the sense, instead of spending spare time with my family, I had to spend all this time at my workplace. On the left-hand side, you can see a picture of my workplace. Yes, so I had to spend a lot of time in my workplace, 10 hours, 12 hours, sometimes 13, 14 hours. And I couldn't spend those time with my daughter or family because, when you do business requires a lot of time. It requires a lot of labor. So this kind of sacrifice may also be personal. Okay, this opportunity cost is more personal. So I am losing spending time with my family. Okay, so instead of spending time with them, I am spending time at my workplace. So spending time with my family is an opportunity cost, and that will have a negative effect, negative impact on my family members, right? They may be unhappy. They may miss me a lot. Okay, so opportunity costs can also be personal. There we go. Sometimes, in business, for example, you can spend your own money to build something. So that is also, a personal sacrifice. Instead of buying something for yourself, you're reinvesting the profit into the business. Okay. So it can also be personal opportunity cost. Think about that. Very interesting. Then you have, because in business, you have to take countless decisions. You have to sacrifice, compromise, trade-offs. Trade-offs means compromises and sacrifices. If you want to make something in detail, let's say this book cover is really nice and you want to make this book cover in detail, right? Now you can achieve that, but when you do things in a detailed way, that may consume a lot of time. That may hamper your speed of production. So you can't have everything. Yes, you want to design a detailed book cover, but for that, you have to give up speed of production. You may not be able to achieve or design the book cover quickly because you're doing it in a detailed way. Let's say you want to build up stocks. You want to have let's say 1,000 copies of these books. Now, in order to do that, you have to give up cash. You have to sacrifice cash because cash can buy stocks. Now, you can't have cash and stocks both at the same time. If you want to build up stocks, if you want to have more of these books, then you need to sell. You need to buy. You need to spend your money and buy stocks. Okay, so there are many such examples in business. Okay, right. If you have any questions, keep it coming. Okay. Um, so yeah, yes, Zafir, giving up family time is also opportunity cost, and that's the most difficult part. Because when you're an entrepreneur, a businessman, or if you work anywhere at a very high post, it requires a lot of time in the company, in the business, and it becomes difficult to balance out both the things. And how do you do it? Okay, so that is also an opportunity cost. You're not being able to spend those precious time watching movies together, reading books with them, or just lying down on the bed, so or having dinner with them. So yeah, let's go ahead. Now, look at this chart. Look at this graph, actually. Now, this is level of reward, this vertical column, and the horizontal column is the risk. So in business, the more risk you take, the more profit you're going to get. See, the more risk you're taking, the more profit or more reward you will get, and that is the relationship between risk and reward. So this shows level of reward in profits or losses, and this is risk. On the left hand side you have low risk, on the right hand side it's higher risk. So the more risk you take, the more rewards you're going to get in the future. Okay, but that's not always the case. Let's have a look at this picture. Picture of different banks. Barclays, HSBC, Citibank, State Street, different kinds of banks. And there was a recession in 2008, as you can see on the left-hand column. And recession means there's a shortage of money because probably there's very less money in the in the economy because you've given out money more than receiving cash, so you will have less jobs, and company will be making employees redundant and all sorts of things. Okay, so there was a recession in 2008. Okay, which is also known as the housing recession. So what happened in recession 2008? Before that, all the banks took a lot of risk because they thought that if we take a lot of risk, we will be able to make more profit, which is correct in a way, but you're not always successful. So they took a lot of risk, and what they did was they gave out money more. So they borrowed more, right? They had customers, they gave them money more to buy houses. Now, people took that money, but then afterwards they couldn't repay it back. Okay, so there was less repayment, and therefore banks and financial institutions collapsed because they gave out money at a very rapid pace because they were taking higher risk, because they thought if they take high risk, they will have more profit, which is correct, but not in this case, right? So they gave out, they lend money more, they gave out money more, but then they couldn't, customers couldn't repay it back on time. Okay, and that became a problem, and the financial institutions, big banks, collapsed. They had to get rid of employees. They had to make employees redundant. Some banks had to shut down. There were very old banks and old financial institutions that had to shut down. After 100 years, after 150 years of operation, it was embarrassing to see these companies shut down, and that's why it happened. Okay, because they want to take more risk, and they wanted to make more profit, but that didn't happen in the case. Probably they made a mistake, and I know why, because I've read the case study of and I've read different papers of recession 2008. I'll tell you, because they gave out money to people who were not well qualified to repay it back. Now, if I have a job that only gives me 50,000 taka a month, will you give me a loan of 1 crore or 2 crores? No, I need to have a salary of at least 3 to 5 lakhs. So you need to do a proper background checking. So probably the banks failed to do that. Okay, because they were overconfident, and that happens. A boom in the economy. There's too much of money flowing in the market. Okay, and what they did was they gave out too much of money. They did not check the background of the customer. So if you're a banker and if you want to lend me money, you will check my background, where I come from, what kind of jobs I have, what is my salary, do I have any previous loans, do I have any credit cards. If you see that everything fits in well, everything goes in well, then only you give me the money. But before recession 2008, they did not do that. Banks in America, they give out house loans, home loans to people who were underqualified, who had $2,000 income per month, and that's not enough. And people had two house loans on that salary. So if you have $2,000, let's give me 1 minute. I just want to explain you. Just give me 1 minute. I want to. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. Right. We're done. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, great. We're back. So let's say if I have a salary, we have a lot of students watching. If I have a monthly salary, I'll write it in caps so that you can see. If I have a monthly salary of $2,000, that's a very less amount in America. Or let's do it in taka. Let's say my monthly salary is 1 lakh taka. Okay? Every month. Now, with 1 lakh taka, I can probably have a car loan. Let's say every month I have to pay, let's say 15,000 taka. This is possible. This is possible. But if you give me a house loan, let's say I have to repay, let's say 70,000 taka a month on the basis of this salary, 1 lakh taka, then it becomes impossible. That means you're not checking me properly. You have to make an estimation. But if my monthly salary now changes to 3 lakhs, then it's possible. But if it's 1 lakh, it's not possible, right? Now, in America, they give out 2-3 house loans on the basis of this small amount of salary. Now, how would you repay it back, right? So they've lent money more than they could afford, and therefore the market collapsed. Okay, so so this happened with in 2008. They wanted to take more risk. Fine, more risk means more reward, which is excellent, which is good, but it doesn't work like that always. So you have to be careful. Okay, it doesn't work like that always. In 2008, the market collapsed, the banks collapsed. Okay, so you have to do a proper background check. Okay, so yeah, today I think we're done. Tomorrow we will do more and finish the chapter, which means we'll finish unit one, which is excellent, right? So we'll stop here because we've done a lot of concept. So today we've looked at opportunity cost. We make choices daily, right? Look at the pictures. Opportunity cost can be, individuals take decisions, business takes decisions, government takes decisions. Opportunity cost can also be non-monetary, right? Like if you don't train employees, they may lose confidence, they may lose productivity. We've talked about that. It can be personal as well. I've given my example. And then you have non-monetary opportunity cost. We've talked about that. And business choices and trade-off. Think about high risk, high rewards. We've talked about the financial crisis of 2008. And yeah, and tomorrow we'll finish this chapter, which means we'll be done with unit one, which is a great news. Great. I will sign off today. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment down below and share our videos with your friends on Facebook. Like our page, Fyruz Education Services. You can subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Fyruz Education Services again. You can also send me friend requests because all our videos are streamed live on my personal page as well, Fyruz Khan, right? Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next class. If you have any questions, I'll take it. Thank you.